Hello, hello, everyone. Hi, Gamby. How are you? I'm early this time. Hello, hello. Welcome. Good job. Nailed it. Oh my God, so many days. 31 months. Holy shit, Cal. Thank you so much for that sub, my friend. I appreciate you so much, dude. How you doing? Thank you for that sub over on Twitch. You are amazing. Alright, Amazon is being a fucking weenie. They're like, make sure everything goes to the end for bleed. And I'm like, it does. And they're not letting me publish my book because they're like, it doesn't go to the edge. And I'm like, not everything needs bleed, you dumbass. And so now I'm like trying to figure out why is Angie. Y'all, I'm crashing out. There's a lot of this that doesn't line up with the center, actually. Let me just make sure that all of these are really fucking tight here. This is an error, but I don't think that that'll be that noticeable. We're going to just kind of go through and clean this up real fast. Make sure there's no issues and try and see if Amazon will put it through. And if not, I have to talk to their customer support and be like, the proof is fine. Or I guess maybe what I need to do... See, it's tough because this needs to have bleed. And maybe what I need is, if I go over here, I just don't want to have... I mean, I can go in like this. I'll do the rectangle tool. We'll go over here. Line it up. I don't need generative fill. I just need white. I'm not gonna go 0. Can I not do that? Hello? There we go. I'll drag this below. This is why, like, okay, I will make this go all the way, like, if I must. Okay, that looks fine. I don't see anything that would cause this to have issues. That's fine. I'm gonna do the same thing over here, I guess. This is a great mix of this song. Okay, there's my white. Like, is it just angry because those didn't have any bleed on those pages, even though there were images? I don't know. This is some real nitpicky shit here. Well, what is that? Oh, that's why. I don't know if that was freaking out because of that. And it may be because of these things here. Because somehow this does have some weird minor errors. And it's okay if they're white. That's what the irony is that it doesn't matter if this had an error. Because ultimately, it's like it would have worked out. But like, what? I hope everybody's having a good day today. I feel like I am absolutely losing my mind. I see what happened. It was not perfect, but... Hey, yo, 5-stream streak. Bruh. I'm gonna need you to chill out. Just kidding. You're great. I might have to cancel stream tomorrow, unfortunately. I realize. Because I am really struggling with work-life balance all of a sudden, and it's been really bad. And I have like so much work to do. And that's where that gets really tricky. And then Amazon had to hit me with this, where it's like, well, your bleed isn't right. And I'm like, your bleed isn't right, you weenie. You absolute dingus. Like, don't come at me with that. I'll fight you. It's like, I know it's right because I held the proof in my hands. I wouldn't have hit approve proof if it hadn't been right. Weirdo. Hydrate. I'm drinking some oolong tea today. Ooh, and everybody sit up straight, stretch. Also, oh god, what work throttled me today. Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being emotionally whipped by my job. I didn't sign up for self-flagellation. I did not want that. Okay. This has to be right. I need to order copies of this son of a bitch. Alright, so now we go in here. Exit the previewer. Okay, now I gotta just wait. I'm gonna go ahead and save this again. We're gonna close this. Oh my god. Girl, please. Girl, please. That's just all I have to say. It is just unfortunate to be in a place where I feel like I am guilty when I take a day off after working for like a million days in a row. I mean, I can upload this cover again if you want. Amazon, you weirdo. Okay, it's doing its shit. Sure. Sure. Well, like, so many things are happening, like, just today specifically, that's making me crash out, like, so hard. Like, I cannot even express that, like, I have more students than I've ever had in my whole life that think that it is okay to turn in assignments 3 weeks after they're due. And I, like, don't understand how that is, like, physically possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, how... Now, let me figure out what this page is. Let's see. Car horn. Oh, I guess it's just the front of the house. Oh. Actually, I'm a big old dummy, you know that? How do I want to do this? I put this in the wrong spot. Let me first, we're gonna fix this. I'm gonna take all of this. Is this Spangle? What is happening here? Oh, it's Powerhouse. I don't know what's going on in this music track, but I feel something. I feel, I don't know, I feel something is happening right now, you know? Let me start here. What I'm gonna do is I have to turn off this thing, so I do have to start by painting here. I wasn't ready for, like, whatever that was. Okay, hold on. Did it go? Okay, right, and there's no weird shit. Yeah, and then this says that there's, like, no quality check here. I'm so confused. Okay, so let me go to the last page. That's, yeah. Yeah, right. Weirdo. I don't understand. Okay, give this to me, please. Now I have to wait potentially several days. Like, I was supposed to wake up. And be like, yeah, I have this book that I can order for my backers. And what I don't want to have to do is go run over to Ingram really fast. And print one over there. Okay, we'll see. Oh my god, yes. Okay, great. That solves that problem. Okay, now I just gotta awkwardly wait for them to, like, actually do that. Okay, hold on. Nope, not sets. First, I'm gonna throw this in here. Start with this. I'm gonna... Huh. Me... I gotta, like, kind of line this up, sort of. Sort of, kind of. You know? Real? Like, as long as I can kind of, like, line up the top, that's good, that's good. Don't ask questions. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to actually hit this, and then I'm gonna also delete this out. Now, time to fill in other stuff here. And it's tough because, like, this is, like, completely not in any way, shape, or form anything essential to see here. Hi, Tess. How you doing? Boy, howdy. Sure. Oh no, I'm sorry that that happened. If you want to meet up for birthday shenanigans, let me know, because, like, everybody deserves to have a fun birthday. Everybody gets birthday. Dang it. Oh my god, mood though. It's like, yeah, I legit forget that I exist. I totally understand. Totally understand. I'm like, I don't need to do any of this. Like, look at me doing digital painting stuff and expanding the image here. Who would have guessed? Who would have fucking guessed? Okay, I need, like, stones. I'm doing this better. Oh my god, your birthday's on Thanksgiving. Oh my god. Did you do a painter over the mansion in one of those panels, or did you manually paint this all by yourself? So effectively, the process is that I will grab a royalty-free photo to use as the base for this, and then I use its filter gallery, and then I have settings for this filter called cutout, and it will automatically, for the most part, it's not necessarily 100% reliable, but it will make effectively what this looks like, where it's kind of paint blocky like this. And then effectively, if I ever need to expand this for whatever reason, which does sometimes happen, then I have to just kind of manually paint in everything. I could use Adobe's generative expand, but it is fucking ugly. It's really, really bad, and it does not successfully get in, you know, the amount of detail that I'm able to get in just by using my own concept art brushes, if that makes sense. Because it is horrifying. I've seen some shit. I might try to get some folks together on the 29th if you want to come. Okay, I'm in Canada. Unfortunately, on that date, that's the only, like, one of the only days that I can't do. So sad. But anytime after we get back, I'm gonna be over in the good old Canadian wilderness. But yeah, literally no worries. Like, yeah, I would love to meet up though, and you know, do some cool stuff. Go to fucking putt-putt or some shit, I don't know. Anything's a possibility if you believe. There we go. That's correct. That's what I needed for this panel. Much better. Yeah, so I can kind of match the ruggedness of stuff. And thankfully with these backgrounds, they can be kind of loose. And I might... do some of this over here, but, like, I don't really have to, you know. It's like on the page it's going to be behind other stuff, so that's not really that big of a problem. I really would like this to be faster than it is. Canadian Wilderness, aka Vancouver College Campus. I mean, you don't know what's going on up there. We gotta watch out for the wildlife, i.e. all of the young college kids. It's always a very weird thing as, like, an adult student going to do college stuff. because it's you're so much older than everybody else. It's very weird. Let's see. For now, I literally will go feral for putt-putt golf. I need to make sure that this sedan is the same sedan here. See, but that's what makes it fun. All of these are so bad. Okay, where is the... Oh, he didn't do it. I was waiting for Sam Tinez to be like... And then he just didn't do it. And now I'm actually relatively disappointed. I'm like that with laser tag. True, though. It's a lot of screaming. It's a lot of just like... I need... I just don't want to have to drive somebody sitting behind the wheel of a car. Really? But all of these are not quite right. I'll get there eventually. He didn't even cuss. Sam? Sam? Less screaming at Paint Your Pot, though I can easily spend a full day there. True, though. That is what makes it enjoyable. Okay, this is... Sam, I love your shit, but you didn't deliver. I'm okay, I'm okay. I had to skip it. Let's see. God, look at this shitty AI. Look at how fucking bad it is. Oh my god. Okay, so now let me think about this. Ooh, that's kind of fun, though. Yeah, I hope you're able to get something together and do something fun. We have to go to Golden Corral still. I'm serious about that. Okay. Do I want to have Wendy in the window? Yeah, unfortunately, Thanksgiving, we get on the plane. But when we get back, I'm telling you, I'm serious. We won't be able to access the Golden Corral Thanksgiving spread, but we will be able to do that. Let me see... Pexels. Not what I want. Although this is a very creepy window. I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna draw Wendy. I'm just gonna reuse this background as many times as humanly possible. Welcome back from Adtown. But yeah, when we get back from, I'm gonna have to be on the plane, when Thanksgiving happens. But when we get back, I want to go so bad. I haven't been since I was a kid. Effectively, since my grandpa passed away, I haven't been. Hello? So this, I need to do some upscaling for some resolution. So you can kind of see how I fuck around with this background. Because I do have to make sure that this doesn't look like booty hole, you know? Or blurry. And the easiest way to fix that is just by manually painting in edges, so that way it's nice. Clean it up a little bit. And I'll do that bush at the very end. Distract the eye a little bit from the imperfection. Yeah, my ADHD brain and buffets are like BFFs, like... It's something about the variety where I can just, like, it's like, I don't know, you can choose everything. That's the point. You can get anything you want. Where? There. Mix and match. That's it. That's it. Get whatever, whatever, wherever. So Shakira starts screaming. I mean, like, you know. Look at this. Look at this fucking, look at this column. Yeah, little nibbles. Yeah. It's just a little bit, you know. Just a little bit. That's what I like. I'm just gonna go up. I'm not even gonna do the perspective here. Yeah, Jace does not like buffets because they freak him out. So I can never go. Oh my god, I love it. Nah, the Golden Corral employees were not paid enough, you know? They're like, this is fine. Oh, I realized too, let's see, is this 3? There's a little bit of an issue up here, if y'all can see that, where when I lined everything up, it didn't quite line up right. So I have to, since this is going to be such a big thing on this, I'm going to go ahead and clean up this line here. So that way it's not imperfect. And like, I don't think many people will see it or notice it, but I will. I noticed. I noticed. I saw it with my eyes. With my eye holes. Oh, better. I'm gonna do the window up here. I think that this is gonna be... What I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually duplicate this and give it some motion or some focal blur effectively. So we're gonna say filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And we're going to intentionally blur this so that way it's I don't have to focus so hard on cleaning this up. It's only going to be cleaned up in the areas that I care about, which is over here. Nice. Yeah, well, honestly, I feel like it makes it so that they don't have to do so much work, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, I can just like tell my boss that it's like, yes, there were customers in the store. Don't make me do anything, you know what I'm saying? It's like, leave me alone. I need Wendy really fast. Phew. Goodness. Phew. Oh, today I gotta go and deliver a coat to this coat drive. Phew. Why? I'm so sneezy. I got about 40,000 things buzzing around in my brain and I don't like it. I just want to like chill out and like play games. I'm dying. This is the end. Okay, I have to put this over here and then censor it real fast. Why? No, whoops, I didn't censor the crotch. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. I'm just like worried that these books are not going to get out to people before Christmas because Amazon is being a dingus and is not letting me do what I need to do for my copies. Also, I decided that I'm going to pick only fun things to write for the next couple of writing projects that I have. Because I'm sick of writing really depressing shit. And, like, the depressing shit is important, but, like, I don't know if I can, like, emotionally handle it right now. I don't know what Wendy's wearing, but this is what she's wearing now. Hello? Oh my god, Photoshop, I hate you. Keep my preferences, you bastard. So I'm probably going to switch back to writing kids lit after these next couple projects because I am just, I don't know. I have depression. which is like the opposite of what I told myself that I'd do, because it's really difficult to sell middle grade novels. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Oh, nice. Warrior Cats, yo. Hey, well, you know what? If you like Warrior Cats and you want to support an indie author, I would highly recommend, like, I edited this book. I wouldn't say, like, and this is definitely no shade to the author at all. It's not, Warrior Cats is not my bag. This book is called The Blight of Avenir, and I edited it, and it was definitely one of those projects where we polished something that was, like, not ready into, like, the best version of itself. So, like, if you're interested in reading an indie debut that may not be, it's not necessarily the most perfect book in the whole world, but it is very, very apparent that this person really loves their world and really, cares about writing good books. I would definitely recommend Blight of Avenir by Danny Winters. I did work on that book, so I can attest. It's got cats in it, that's for damn sure. It's got some interesting magic systems in it, too. Yeah, it's good. It got an interesting premise. It's effectively very Warrior Cats light, but we have a world of cats and Magitech and bioweapons and, like, a bunch of really cool stuff. It's for an older audience. It's for, like, YA instead. So there's that. But it's got some fun characters in it. There's this, like, crazy old man cat that is doing a bunch of science experiments with parasitic moss, and he's my favorite. Yeah, it's a very, like, I don't want to say light and fast read, but it's got a very casual writing style, a very, like, conversational writing style, so it's an easy book to get through. The main lesson that I learned from that book is don't blow your country up. That's it. No matter how bad you want an A in class, don't do that shit. My girl created a nuclear reactor on accident. The main character's mom is also, like, one of my favorite characters ever. She's, like, the villain. She's fucking awful. She's, oh, God. Oh, she's awful. Really well-written villain, for sure. But yeah, I would definitely go check it out, especially if you're looking to support, more indies. And I know for a damn fact that it's not going to be an Abra Winter situation, because I edited the fucking thing, so... I love drawing these lips so much. I've made the decision that maybe at some point I'm just going to, like, only dress like a 1920s male film star. The Who Winter situation? Oh, God. Okay. All right. So for those of you who don't know, there was this author, Abra Winter, and, like, this is kind of a situation where I do feel kind of bad for her as the author, but this is a massive lesson as to why you need to have your book ready for publication before you publish it. I actually just published a blog post on my website today about asking yourself as an author the question of, like, am I ready for publish, or should I just keep it as a hobby? Because this is kind of a, like, horror story for that. But effectively, she grew a very large following on TikTok around the lore of her work, and people were very hyped for her story. And she had a story that was like very similar to mine, where it's like, yeah, I've been working on this thing since I was 15 years old, and I really want it to succeed. And I love these characters, and here's the lore, and here's the backstory, and here's, you know, the characters and why you should love them, and like all of these things. And so she was able to amass a very large following on her TikTok using effectively hype alone. She had not shown really what her writing skill was, and this was her debut novel. So when she did finally bring the book to Kickstarter, it ended up making thousands of dollars. I don't know the exact amount of money, but it was a substantial amount of money, like much larger than most indie authors can hope to achieve. Like, I know Lumaris in our server has had a great amount of success on their Kickstarter, and I think the last time I looked, they broke like 3,000, which is what I would consider a large Kickstarter for an indie author. And I think, as far as I understand, Abra made way more than that. Like, it was an insane amount of money. And then effectively when everybody got their books, it was like poorly written AO3 fan fiction. It was just like, it was not edited. It was not, the plot had no substance to it. The characters had no character development. And it was very, very clear that she had not gotten anybody to look at her work before releasing it. So a bunch of people were very upset. They felt like their money had been taken from them for a product that was falsely advertised. And then a lot of people review bombed the shit out of her work on Goodreads, which was also not good. And I don't know what the like end result of that entire debacle was, but I think the real takeaway is just like, if it's not ready, it's not ready, you know? And so it's not necessarily that she didn't feel for the heart of her work or that her work wasn't good. It was just that it was not ready. Hello? Yeah, it was not ready. So I do feel really bad. I don't know if there's any more drama associated with that, simply because I don't tend to keep up on like author drama, but I know that the YouTuber Rachel, or Reads with Rachel, I think is her channel, did an entire breakdown on the Abra situation, or on the Winter situation. Supposedly she hired the editor of the Hunger Games. Oh, so then she probably lied about that then, I imagine. Which ain't great, you know. So then that's a whole other thing then on its own, like, and that's something that I didn't know, like, because I thought it was just like, this is a, you know, an example of a subpar product being released and people being very upset. But especially if you're like lying about you know, editing talent that you're hiring, you know, that ain't great either. That's like a whole other thing. Do not lie to people about that kind of shit. Don't do that. So, can confirm, as somebody who has had my eyes on Blight of Avenir, it is a debut. That is, I think, the way that I would describe that. But it's a damn good thing that they made, and they really like put all of their heart into it, and that in itself is good. And I can say that there is better character development in that than probably in the other thing. Also, too, can confirm that this author doesn't commit fraud or anything, you know, so is a normal human. This ended up really stiff somehow. My braid! Yeah, so long story short, don't lie to people about what your product is, and also don't put something out before it's ready. Oh, right, and so it may not have been even like a full edit. It was just like, I read the first 50 pages of your book, and here's what you can improve for the first 50 pages, and then that was like all there was to it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know very much about the situation. All I know is don't do that shit. This sounds like it's all a cappella. It is. This is all a cappella, guys. This whole track is all made with somebody's mouth. It's beautiful. Well, it's like that's an interesting sample, but it's because it's the guy's mouth. Oh yeah, that probably also could happen too. Yeah, I'm not really super caught up on it either, but all like the bottom line of it is that she effectively engaged in false advertising, stating that her product was something that it was not. You know, and I have run into situations where I've had to DNF indie authors' work before too, because of similar things where it's like, yeah, um, unfortunately, you told me like I'm expecting a finished product and you didn't do that. You know, like you've given me a book that wasn't proofread, or you gave it to your mom and your mom was like, this looks good to me, I love it, and then that was like, that was it. You know, you didn't really actually edit the thing. So that's pretty, it's common and can happen. And I've had to like, but like for me, this is the thing that I'm like really intense about and will never ever ever do to somebody. I think that leaving 1-star reviews unless the person has done something hateful is bullshit. Um I think that, or unless that it's really 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 bad. I think that there's merit for 1-star reviews, but it really depends on what's happened. But that being said, I do leave low reviews if they're, you know, if the author needs to understand that like they can't put out a certain product in a certain way. But typically I'll leave like 3-star reviews and then make it clear in my review that I did not finish the book, that I reached X number of pages. This is what I liked about it, this is what I didn't like about it, and why I didn't finish it as a product. And you know, if people want to support the author, that's always where I'm at. I'm like, if you want to support a debut and you don't care about typos, you can go in and fix those like things. You can go in and like, you know, look at those things yourself. But ultimately, unless somebody does something hateful, which I have seen happen, I've seen it happen. I'm looking at that one lady that wrote that really fucking offensive LGBTQ fiction that I read the other day that was just fucking ass. That's offensive. So you get a 1-star. Like you're actively damaging a community. But yeah, the main problem is that there are so many videos that are circulating all over the place. That are like, you don't need an editor. You're an indie author. You don't need an editor. And it's like, okay, sure. Let's assume for a moment that you don't need an editor. And I understand that there are financial barriers that potentially would prevent somebody from hiring an editor, right? As somebody who has literally lived off of fucking 67 cents an hour, myself personally, yes, that can happen. However, the next alternative that you have, if you want your book to be successful, is to get a very thorough critique from somebody who knows the industry. And that's like the biggest fucking thing that I think authors miss, is that they're like, oh, well, I'll just get a critique from my friends. Nope, you can't fucking do that. You need to get a beta read or a critique from people who are professionals in that industry. You can't just rely on your mom to be like, oh, I caught a couple of typos. That's not how this fucking works. And so, sure, let's assume for a second that you can get away with not having an editor. You can't get away with effectively not having any kind of critique for your work. And that's really where, unfortunately, I think a lot of these authors fall into this tar trap, is that they they just don't think about that, and then it bites them in the ass later when their work is like not good. It's just their work is received poorly and then they're upset. It's like, I don't understand, people just hate my book. And it's like, no, you failed on a promise, because that's really what publishing is. If you publish under, even if you're self-publishing, you're promising someone a product, and if that promise is broken, then of course you can expect backlash. Like, you can't expect people to be excited that effectively you promised them like refried beans and they got like rice or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's not how people work. If you say, I wrote X, Y, or Z at this quality, you have to be able to deliver X, Y, or Z at that quality. So that's why I legitimately just wrote a blog post about like deciding whether or not you're ready. It's like, have you gone through these checklists at all? Have you made sure that you are ready to go? Because if you're not ready to go, do not fucking push the launch button. Don't do it. All right, so now I need to look at... I don't know if I like this mix. I like... This is really industrial hardstyle, or really like synthy hardstyle. That's not my favorite. That's not the kind of stuff I like there. I gotta get out of here. Okay, so let me see here. I'm gonna open up this. I think one of the struggles with indie too is that the editorial pass is seldom enough. With a trad editor, you can go back and forth with an author until everyone's happy with the project, but with indie, you can maybe afford 2 max passes if you want to have ROI. Yep, that's very true. Okay, this guy's gonna have a very dark suit. This is the first time I've really drawn him on a panel. Like, he just doesn't, he has not been in this comic yet. Does this guy have blue eyes? He does indeed. His freaky little fingers. He's got freaky little fingies. Boy howdy. Freaky things. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. Whoops. This guy is awful. Brill. I forgot that that is actually human flesh neck. Boy howdy, I do love myself some human flesh neck. When I realized I was rushing this a little bit, I forgot some lines in here. It's me, human flesh neck. I'm fine. Oh, you know what? I forgot these. I forgot it. Now it is fine. I love little triangle buttons. Okay. I recognize this is going to be kind of problematic. Now! Delete. This girl is like, what the fuck? Like, why? It's because shit's dumb. That's why. Yeah. No, I feel like at minimum, with, like, editing, you have to have a good, proof editor at the very minimum. A proof edit and a line edit are the two things that you need really, really, really bad. Because, yeah, oh, exactly. I was literally just going to say the same thing. Beta readers can handle some of the developmental editing weight, you know, where it's like, okay, this plot point here is slow, or I don't care about character development here, like, or the character development isn't strong enough, or like whatever it is, they can kind of bridge that gap, you know, and then a line editor can help you with clunky sentences. And then eventually you may get to a point where you may not need as heavy of a line edit, and you might be able to work out with an editor like, hey, like super light line edit is fine for a discount, or like whatever ends up coming from that. But yeah, nothing is ready until you hit a test audience of some kind. Like, unless you know the industry really fucking well. Because for me, I don't use beta readers, typically. But I also, like, recognize I'm writing primarily for kids, you know? And so, like, and actually I shouldn't say I don't use beta readers, because I read every single thing aloud to Jace, every single thing. So I have at least one person who is going to be looking at it just from like a non-editorial standpoint, who's just going to be listening to the story at multiple passes, both before a line edit and after a line edit. Then, you know, like, do I feel like I need two other beta readers? Probably not, but that's just where I'm at in like with my writing. Not to say that it's like, oh, I'm so good, I don't need a fucking editor or like a beta reader, but I know my work well enough to know that maybe having more than one is probably not that big of a deal, you know. But for other people, if you don't know the industry that well, you're going to have a problem. You know, you don't know what to expect from the audience. You don't know what the tropes are. You don't know how pacing works. You don't know any of these things. And like, I've gotten enough good feedback from people to know that it's like, okay, I am okay. Like, I'll be fine. Dude. I don't remember how big this sound effect needs to be. But yeah, I don't really like, for my process, I don't necessarily, I'm not as concerned with beta readers as I am with arc reviews. You know what I mean? Those are huge for me. And if things get caught during that process, during that part, then they get caught and then we fix it, you know? Oh wait, except I can't do this. Or well, I could, but I need to let me find one that's in a chapter that's more recent. There we go. And thankfully, Jace was a pretty avid reader when he was younger. You know, so I know that he knows how to critique things as well. And then also he went to art school, you know, so I'm like, thankfully, I'm not super worried about that. I'm very, very fortunate. To have a good beta reader there. But yeah, I feel really bad for authors that effectively they rely on their like Wattpad friend group or something, or like friends they met on AO3 to like critique their work, and then are like ready to publish it, and it's like, hold on, guys. Jay's turned the heat up, and now it is like way too hot in here. He tried to prevent me from freezing to death, and in exchange, I am dying. Honestly, though, now that I have like a backlog of stuff, the tricky bit is trying to find like, I think, beta readers that actually finish the work, because that's been really my struggle and why I typically don't rely on a lot of other people. Is because it does suck to give your work to somebody and they're like, yeah, I'll read it, and then you never hear from them ever again, and it's like, oh my god. Yeah, that good on you, Tess. Oh my god. You are a legend. You're a legend. And like, I'm good paying people if I have to. And I recognize I offer beta reading and alpha reading services for free. Or not for free, for a low fee. Which is sometimes all that I need. Right? Or all that an author needs. Like, I'm working with this author right now on their manuscript. I gave them a dev edit, so they did a dev edit with me, and they're like, well, I don't know if I want to do another dev edit. I was like, yeah, that's fine. You can do a beta read at that point, and then get feedback that way without having to do another full dev edit. And that's like always a surprise to people. It's like, yeah, you don't have to go balls to the wall every single time. Like, not everybody can afford to be like, I don't know. I think about how if American Gods was edited completely out of pocket, it'd be a $12,000 project. You know, nobody has that fucking money. We do not have that shit. Oh my god, is this my main man? Vengeance, it is! So the samples in this piece were all made sampling from industrial bandsaws and grinding equipment. Vengeance, amazing. His industrial's amazing. Hello? Whoops. I do not like this, Sam. I am... Yeah, scrap metal. That was the sample. That was the prompt for this piece, was scrap metal. Oh, fucking, he's so creative. And then the lyrics always have to do with whatever the sample is. So he's like, why do we keep on living on scraps? I'm like, that's clever, dude. Yeah, see, and that's my thing, too, is I hate to be that picky bitch. I hate to be that guy, but, like, it's hard for me because I recognize that, like, I tend to be the most experienced person in the room. And, again, definitely not trying to say that to be, like, fucking, to have clout or any of that shit. But, like, I recognize I have a master's in publishing. I'm an EFA certified editor. And so it can be really difficult for me to give my work to other people who either, one, don't know my work, or just don't have the same level of experience, because it's like, I don't want to waste my time or pay somebody who is not going to give me the quality that I need the first time, you know? So I have to, like, really get to know the person before I do any of that. Yeah, because I've had some bad editors in the past, like, before, for sure. Like, really bad editors. And it was a waste of time, and it was a waste of money, so it's like, ugh. It's hard. It's really hard. I love how Wukong very, very succinctly is like, a car horn, you dumb bitch. I can't. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Okay, I need to make a thought bubble. I don't really do those that often. Something I just remembered what happened today. One of my bosses put together how strong I am by her trying to wheel one of the carts and moderately filled with the order today. Dang it. Yeah, you're just like, hey, by the way, I am buff as fuck. You're like, don't ask questions. And it was at this moment that Sean learned that these guys are corrupt as shit. Yeah, true, right? You're like, I've been doing this forever, it feels like now. You silly billies. Does this look right? Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna, though. All right, better. I love how this guy was on screen for about 15 fucking seconds. Is this overwork? It sounds like overwork. It is not. I don't know who Dean is. His work sounds like overwork, though. Nope, I always do this. This guy's name is Dean. I'm fine. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different looking for the mobile scroll. Yeah, I don't take it personally when feedback isn't the best. Sometimes the reader is addressing a problem, but the solution that they offer just doesn't work. I just have to put my feelings aside and find a solution I can actually stand behind. No, and that's valid. Yeah, because, like, it's not really the critique that bothers me. Because, like, critique is great. Everybody loves that shit. And clearly, if, like, somebody finds a problem or they have an issue, that's fine. Maybe what I should rephrase as is that I've lately run into a lot of issues where people are claiming that they are proficient readers is the word that I'm going to use to describe that. And their reading comprehension is actually really, really bad. And so then I get into a trap of having invested time into getting feedback from a specific person. And then it's like, oh, actually this person legitimately can't read. Oh, that fucking sucks, though. Take all the fantasy out of your fantasy book, Agent. What the fuck? It's like, bro, get away from me. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Like, you weirdo. Yeah, I had an editor one time. Now, granted, they were very young. We both were very, very young. But I had an editor one time just tell me, your work is just bad. And they weren't a professional by any means, but they wanted to be a professional editor, and that was the feedback that they had left. So after that, I've been very hesitant to just reach out to random people. And I'm like, I hate to be that guy, but that is like not helpful in literally any way. Alright, I guess at the very minimum, I'm gonna be able to get through another beginning of a page. I still haven't got an email back from Amazon being like, yeah, your fucking thing is fine. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, just let me publish my damn book. God, I wish I could fucking hibernate. Holy shit. I'm not allowed to do that. Yeah, I've had those readers. Guy thought he was hot shit because he self-published 7 fantasy books and thought that that gave him permission to bully other writers. Yeah, yep. No, it's just, like, unless somebody, I have to ask them, like, have you completed, and I hate to be a gatekeeper, like, in this particular instance, but I'm like, okay, have you worked in the publishing industry? Question 1. Question 2, have you completed some kind of editorial certification? Question 3, if none of the, or neither of those are true, do you have a degree in creative writing, English, or publishing? And if none of those things are true, for me, I personally am like, I don't know. I'm not going to necessarily do that. For an editor, for beta readers, that's a little bit of a different story. But the number one question I ask is, do you often read books like this in this genre? Because if you're just looking for a free book and then you're going to be shitty about it, then I don't want you to read my book necessarily, you know? And the guy did apologize for it later, actually, so I will say was something that happened, but okay, let's see. Worst feedback I've ever gotten were from betas. Yeah, see? And this is why I kind of avoid it. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm kind of, like, I don't mean to sound like a fucking snob, but also, you know, it's like, I don't know if I want to subject my work to a beta reader if they can't get the job done. It's like, I don't really... This is a great 3D model. There's a bunch of cones. This one's good, but Pigsy was not in a fucking sedan or a SUV. He was in a sedan. I gotta find the right cop car. Or, alternatively, let me refresh this. Go faster! I'm fine. Yes, I agree, Cal. I think that is a huge problem where sometimes you'll get beta readers who they think that they are an editor, and it's like, no, that's not your job. Your job is to provide feedback on you know, the essence of the book, whether or not you as a product consumer liked the work, if there was anything that you felt like was awkward or weird that didn't really like fit. But it's not to edit. And then some of them get mad at you for suggesting that. They're like, well, what do you mean? I'm going to edit because that's what I think is the best thing for this book. That's the right thing. It's like, well, that's not what I asked you to do. Like, and I'm going to take all of that feedback, or quote feedback, that you gave and ignore it promptly. Yeah, I don't know. If I ever feel like I need them, I will. And now that I have... Oh, I'll wait for the end of the ad break. I won't be a weenie. I'm gonna wait. Let me see. I'm trying to look for the right street here. Oh, this is a good one. I like that. Okay. Thankfully, this is a really easy page to get through here, because it's only 2 panels. So I might actually be able to, like, not necessarily, like, get through it 100%. I'm gonna actually go like this. I think the only time I would take editing advice from a beta reader is if it relates to something being clunky or needed to change to get across what was going on within the text. Yes, exactly, Kel. That's exactly what they're there for. Is it's like, is this confusing? Welcome back. Yeah. Oh no, I was gonna say, now that I have a backlog of manuscripts that are like complete and are kind of sitting in the queue, or will be sitting in the queue for several years, probably I will need beta readers more. I love how that was the most delayed hello of all time. You're just like, just like screaming. Oh my god, I love it. But yeah, I might use them more because now I have more breathing room in my publishing schedule, considering I'm just waiting on agents all the fucking time. Now, I have to refill my query. Or my, yeah, query queue. I need three of them. So annoying. I love rejections. Okay. I'll do dev edits when I beta read. That's always the most helpful and kind of feedback I've received. Yeah, because it's really like, it's like, is the story fucked up? Because if it's not, we're okay. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not, we're good. But if it's fucked up, then that's like the worst. All right. I didn't think that I was going to make it here today. It's all dry. My tattoos are all itchy. Yeah, because if the pacing lags at any moment, I'm just like, just cut this shit. Literally just cut it out. Cut it the fuck out. Okay. I do like pages where it's just one panel and there's not really anything going on in it. Okay, let's see. Chapter endings are useful tools when it comes to pacing. Generally, you want to end scenes on points of conflict. No, it's true. Because it's like the question, you should ask a question And then that question gets answered in the next chapter, is the way that I like to do it. Yeah, unless you're writing a thriller, you don't want to like drag somebody through the entire thing, you know what I'm saying? Alright, I am slowly losing my mind. My friend is deciding that they want to make me a Crimson Guard cosplay, and that's how this is going to work. So sorry, guys, I'm joining the ops. And I do kind of feel bad, but also not as bad as I probably could or should. Oh, this actually doesn't work. You want to know why? Because the perspective is wrong. It's wrong, guys. It's incorrect. It's wrong. I'm also a huge fan of the Save the Cat writes a novel. Oh yeah, true. It's true. I don't use that one. I use like it's like the 3-act 27 beat story structure or whatever. But it depends on what I'm writing though too, because if I'm working on a romance, that actually has like a completely fucking different structure. And it's a whole thing. That's like, yeah, that's its own monster. Horror novels are similar where they're like their own beast. But I also like writing really snappy novels too. I don't really like working on stuff that's like too long. I tend to write like 75K. But it depends on what I'm working on. Oh, nice catch. Nice fucking catch. Oh, Stream Elements got it, bro. I didn't even have to do anything. Stream Elements fucking nuked that thing. Maybe Stream Elements is getting smarter. Oh yeah, the fun and games section otherwise ends up way too fucking long and not enough stuff happens inside it. I definitely agree. I tend to like either... No, I don't want to say omit that section entirely, but I have to do a lot of like funky fixing in there because I personally don't like how stale it is. Pants. And now both fucked everything up. Yeah, I've never used Save the Cat. And I tend to, like, I don't know, lately I've been writing a lot of, like, multi-POV narratives. So that's good to know. I have reported and blocked them. You have done your due diligence. Honestly, Twitch tends to nuke the fuck out of those guys really, really fast. Look at that. Look at our beef boy. Hello? Okay. Oh, gotcha. The 27th chapter method is basically more detailed save the cat. I see, I see. Yeah, I just kind of go rogue. I use these things as, like, base models, but I don't really, like, stick to anything super intensely one way or another, you know? I actually can't really drink mate anymore because it gives me a fucking heart attack. Unfortunately. So, I have not personally tried it. I got a bunch of free, like, reindeer fuel, and then I can't drink it because I will die. Also, we got a self-care combo. Make sure you sit up straight, stretch, eat snacks if you haven't had snacks yet. I am... Y'all, I'm crashing out. Noom! Hello? I love that I have a cop car in here now that I can just use. Come here, buddy! Thing I've gone. Sensitive being. Oh, but you see what the problem is here? Can't do that. Noom. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Noom. Actually, what I need to do first... We'll see if this does anything useful. That's fine. Oh, except actually, no, it's not. You want to know why? Because this is going to get blurry anyway. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to throw this one behind. We're also going to say filter, motion blur. And we have this cop car that's nooming. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Hume. Wow, amazing. That was definitely something. Oops. This is the easy one that I don't have to like do a bunch of weird shit to get this to work. All I gotta do is I gotta go image, image size, and then if I go to like pixels, I just gotta go, the width needs to be 940, like that. He numed away, y'all. Look at that. I did it. Hold on, I'm writing the longest message of all fucking time. Holy shit. Okay. I guess I'll just like plot out this last page. I have managed to get through at least some semblance of speed here. Y'all, I'm crashing out. All right. Go faster, you demon. actually gonna do 3 of the same panel, and then a wide one down at the bottom. Okay. Maybe that one person that fucking came into my DMs yelling at me about a commission was right, Cal. Maybe if I just go and yell at people on the street, I can make money. What I need to do is I need to figure out how to sell my books on TikTok without using the TikTok shop. That is important for me. Because I don't want to use the TikTok shop. I don't think that's how that works. You can't tell me what to do. That was the funniest shit that's ever happened. I was like, bro, I'm so confused. Like, because at first I thought that they were asking for OCs for them to practice drawing so that they could build out their portfolio. And that was very quickly not what happened. I was like, you guys are silly. You're silly. You're a silly Billy. I'm gonna grab 42, I think. Because I want that one. But I'm gonna grab different bushes. Well, actually, 42. What do I got? Where's the one that's earlier than that? Did I forget to color her eyes? Son of a bitch. Unfortunate. Okay, so now let me save this back out as 43. JPEG, 43 for print. That'll do. Could have been worse. I was like, that looks funny. It's because it was funny. Give me these bushes. Okay, actually, I gotta be really careful about this. Because otherwise I'm gonna have issues with making sure things are proportionate. I hate it when Word or Windows does this. It's like, capture the fucking screen cap, you demon. Just gonna go ahead and turn that off for now. Let me really quickly... I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I feel like I am not doing super great, and I'm not really sure what to do to, like, fix it. I'm, like, super stuck. And I'm not really sure, like, what the good way to go about solving this shit is. You know the moment when you accidentally open every single fucking tab other than the one that you need? That was me. It's just like knowing that I have so much shit to do and that it's like effectively the rest of like my life and like my job is to just like it just is a non-stop, you know, it's like that's what I get to deal with for the rest of forever is just, yeah, non-stop. And that's like really hard for me to come to terms with. So I gotta make sure that when this happens, it's not super weird looking. Oh, I made a mistake. There we go. All right, now everything is in the right place. And if I just draw all three of these, everything is going to be exactly the same spot. So that's exactly what I want. Y'all, it sucks being stuck in a position where, and like this is definitely not to blame people who are genuinely trying to help, but like it sucks being stuck in a position where you're effectively explaining your situation to people, and you've already tried everything that they are suggesting, you know, so they like want to be helpful. And it's like, why don't you try applying for like this kind of job or this kind of job and do this or this or this? And it's like, unfortunately, I already like have tried that and didn't like get any application, like didn't get any job offers back. Like I applied for I think over like 100 jobs and got one interview, and then didn't get the job from that interview. So like, it's like applying to jobs didn't help. And it's not to say that that's like a bad suggestion. It's just like it's really difficult when people are like, I want to try and offer up solutions, and it's like, no, that's totally valid. I would love it if I like wasn't fucking suffering all the time. But the like traditional routes to getting employment just don't work anymore. Or at least haven't worked for me. And it's like, I also don't want to end up getting into a full-time position. Like, or like the part-time positions just don't pay enough to do what I need it to do. Like my rent is like fucking $2,400. My expenses a month are like, each month are like $2,400. Our rent alone is like fucking that much. Actually, our rent is like $2,500, almost $2,600. And Jason and I split it between the two of us. My car payment is like $720. Like a part-time job that like that will allow me to continue to do my career is like not gonna pay me enough. Like the situation that I'm in now is effectively the best situation that I could possibly be in. Which is great, but it's like slowly killing me. And then I feel like I'm like so mentally unwell that working like regular customer service jobs just don't work for me. So I've backed myself into a very pretty little corner. Alright, she run. Noom! Alright. $245. Save. Okay. Well, that's it. Alright, so we got through a lot of pages here. Because we got through 43 and 44. And I started on 45. So I'm going to see how much work I can get through today. Yeah, what a song to send or end off on, right? You know, I legit am so fucking depressed, you guys. I wish that I could say that, like, jokingly, you know? Like, but life is not great. So I'm gonna see if I need to cancel stream tomorrow because I have so much other work to do. We'll see how that goes, and if I can make it through, awesome. And if I can stream tomorrow, I'll try because I really want to finish this page because I like it. And it should be not too bad of a page to get going here. But if I can't, then I will see everybody on, I think on Monday. So I hope everybody has a good rest of your day and a good rest of your week. Let's see, what is Monday? Yeah, the 24th. Oh no, I'm like taking a day off on that day. Wait. I fucked up, I think, on my like overall schedule. Next week, I am indeed going to be back on stream. I am a fool, and I messed up the hammer time, but everything is chill. We'll be good. I'll fix that last week. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope everybody has a good rest of your day, and I will see you maybe tomorrow, but probably on Monday. Bye-bye.